What's up, y'all? We back doing the boyfriend tag number 2. Me and Bay. Sorry it took so long, but y'all know life happens. Nonetheless, we're back to do a service and bless y'all with answering the questions that y'all had for us. So let's get right into it.
All right. So one of the first questions, or one of the many questions that was asked was, what are your deal breakers? What was my deal breaker, and what is my deal breaker, and what is his? I know my deal breaker was before Khalid came in the picture, when I gave myself that year break before I got into another relationship, was the man that was for me. He had to have a relationship with Christ, and not just going to church every Sunday. Well, not every Sunday, but not just going to church every Sunday, Bible study, like not just going through the emotions of Christianity, but actually had a legitimate, authentic relationship with Christ. If Khalid wasn't that, there was no way that was going to work. I just wasn't. I'm not putting in time trying to get a man out the world and try to mold him into what Felicia would want him to be. Like, he already had to come established with that relationship with Christ. So that's something that I just wasn't compromising. I wasn't bending at all. The other thing was, he had to be emotionally stable. I have come across guys that weren't stable, they just emotionally just impulsive with everything, 1 minute they're in love, the next minute they're not, they're still in love with their ex, they're connected to their baby moms, like no attachment. I'm not saying I want someone perfect, but those are the two things, one of the two, many out of the two things I just wasn't willing to compromise. And yes, that is a major deal breaker.
Deal breaker for me would, probably be the same thing. I needed a woman that was into Christ, into the Word, had a Christian walk, Christian faith walk, somebody that was supportive of the things that I was doing and the things that she was doing I could be supportive with. Somebody that would pray for me and I would be able to pray for her. We could pray together. And just build in the kingdom. I needed a woman like that. So for me, she had to be a woman of God. Other than that, it would just be a deal breaker. Also understand that you can still be a woman of God and have other issues, but the foundation starts with God and starts with Christ. But Bay is definitely the total package. You know, none of us are perfect, but for me, she fits me very well. So I'm thankful for God, for her, and for that. But yeah, that would be my deal breaker.
The next question, one of the questions asks, what are your goals ministry wise? Fee is a poet, Lit is an artist. Will you guys start a couples ministry? We don't know. We don't know. Wherever God takes us, wherever He is leading, that's where we'll go, and that's what we'll do. If God leads us to be in ministry together or start a couples ministry, was the question. To start a couples ministry, then that's exactly what we will do.
Right.
But as for now, we're just enjoying growing. Khalid is an artist.
Bless King Lid.
And he does a great job. And I'm a spoken word artist, Fee Wisdom _2. On Instagram. So nonetheless, if it's up to God. It's up to God.
Definitely.
The last question that we will ask, because we won't be long tonight, is how do you channel the sexual/physical urges and natural instincts? Where does the energy go, and what form does it manifest? This is a good question. I think it's a good question because a lot of Christians aren't talking about sex. Like, it's a taboo, and it's corny to be pure. But we're trying to please God, so we don't care about what's corny or not. We're not trying to be popular.
Right.
We're made to stand out and be peculiar folks. So, how do we channel it? We set boundaries. Do you want to share some of the things that we don't do?
We don't kiss. If we hug, the quick hugs. We don't put ourselves in compromising situations where we can feed those temptations. And we're not gonna lie. It's hard. It is a struggle. But I think we look at the ultimate goal and the big picture is that we want to please God, and pleasing God we definitely want to be able to lead one another. It's my duty as the man definitely to lead her the right way and closer to God. So we hold each other accountable, and we don't want to make each other fall. So we try not to put ourselves in compromising situations, and to feed our temptations. So
absolutely,
we just keep it 100 with each other.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't say it's a major struggle, because it's not. It's not a major struggle.
Not a major struggle,
because we don't put ourselves in predicaments to make it a major struggle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But are we human? Yes. Is he a man? Yes. Am I a woman? Yes. Are we attracted to each other? Absolutely. So so yeah, it's not a major struggle, but like, we want to do it, but like he just said, we want to please God,
right,
and we don't want to compromise our walk with Him, so we can have a couple minutes. Like, I'm not worth it. He's not worth that, at all. So that is our segment of Boyfriend Tag 2. We hope that you enjoy it. Please DM me or him questions. We love to answer questions.
Yes, sir.
We just do. Bye.